Welcome to the SoulBomb Podcast hosted by Hēkátē, your friendly woodland witch fairy. My journey began with a longing that soon evolved into a way of life. We are awakening, we are creating, we are setting ablaze the dark recesses of the mind, body, and soul. So walk this path with me as I discover and explore the universe's greatest mysteries in existence, the mysteries of consciousness.
Greetings, unicorns, sages, enchantresses, and fairykin. On this episode of the SoulBomb Podcast, I've chosen to do something a little bit different and deliver some akashic astrological forecasts. We will be delving into the current astrological transits of July 1st of this year, moving maybe within the next few weeks, if not the end of the month, but I will try and make an update before the end of this month. Some energies also, like the moon, may have passed already, so keep that in mind. I will be using Western astrology for this interpretation, as I am still familiarizing myself with Vedic astrology. So let's dive in. The current planetary positions, well, the ones that I analyzed and did a reading for yesterday, the sun is in Cancer in the 7th house. The moon in Sagittarius in the 2nd house. Mercury is in Cancer in the 10th house. Venus in Leo in the 11th house. Mars in Leo in the 11th house. Jupiter in Taurus in the 7th house. And Saturn is in retrograde in Pisces in the 5th house. Uranus is in Taurus in the 7th house. Neptune is also in retrograde in Pisces in the 6th house. And lastly, we have Pluto, who is also in retrograde in Capricorn in the 4th house. Also, I would like to just say it's important for you to consider the entire natal chart for a more comprehensive understanding of how these transits will affect you on a personal level. So this transit reading, astrological forecast, is a general, global, more collective reading. So it's not for a specific person. We would have to look at your natal chart in relation. Sorry, I don't know why I struggled to find the word. In relation to this transit chart as well. If you hear any weird noises in the background, please excuse me. I am recording this during the day. I tried to do it yesterday, but I don't know. I didn't feel a calling to do it yesterday. So we're going to start with the moon. And the moon is in Sagittarius. When the moon transits Sagittarius, it can create a general atmosphere of optimism and a desire for adventure and knowledge. The moon, as you may know, governs our emotions, our moods, and our subconscious mind. And it shifts signs every couple of days, painting our internal world with different colors. That's why I say that perhaps with the moon, it may have changed signs. It may have already changed houses by now. So it would have been more relevant for me to maybe give you the moon yesterday when I first did the reading. But I needed to do everything else, which took a little bit of time. But hopefully this is still relevant to a few people, at least. Sagittarius is a fire sign, if you do not know. It is known for its adventurous spirit, its philosophical mind, and its pursuit of freedom. So when the moon transits Sagittarius, our emotions and moods might take on some of these qualities. This is a time when we might feel an increased desire to explore, whether that's through actual travel, learning new things, or having deep philosophical discussions. Our outlook tends to be more positive, with a focus on the bigger picture rather than the minute details. We may feel more open and generous, driven by the expansive nature of Sagittarius. This is a great time to engage with different cultures or philosophies as our minds are more open and curious. However, it's also essential to be aware of the downsides of this transit as well. This broad perspective and desire for freedom could make us overlook the details and ignore routine or responsibility. We could also risk being overly optimistic, setting unrealistic expectations, or taking unnecessary risks as well. The moon represents our emotional core, our subconscious, and how we instinctively react. The second house, on the other hand, is associated with values, possessions, finances, and self-worth. So, when the moon is transiting the second house, your emotional focus often shifts more towards material and physical security. This can also manifest in several different ways. You may find yourself more attuned to financial matters during this time. Your intuition might guide your decisions about money and resources. It's a good period to review your finances, understand where you stand, and perhaps make changes or decisions that better align with your emotional comfort. During this transit, your sense of security may be strongly linked to your material possessions or financial situation. You may equate stability and safety with financial comfort, if that makes sense. It's an opportunity to understand this relationship and maybe redefine what security might mean for you. The second house is also linked to self-worth, like your personal sense of self-worth or self-love, as or actually not even self-love, self-value. As the moon transits this house, you may reflect on your value system, what you truly value in life and within yourself. Your emotions could be closely tied to your sense of self-worth and how you value your own skills and abilities. The moon is also associated with comfort and nurturing. You might find more comfort in tangible things during this time. A warm meal, a cozy home, or a new item that you may have purchased. This can be a period of enjoying the material comforts of life and indulging your senses. So self-care, taking a bath, drinking tea, putting on makeup, doing your hair, going for a walk, just being with your partner, being with your loved ones, being at home, reading a book, etc. The way you handle your finances, earning, spending, and saving, could be more influenced by your emotions as well during this period. You might be more impulsive with your purchases, or conversely, you could be more cautious and conservative, depending on how secure or insecure you might feel during this time. Remember that these effects are temporary and shift as the moon continues its transit to the next house. When the moon, representing our emotions and instincts, transits through both Sagittarius and the second house, there is a unique blend of influences at play. You may find yourself emotionally drawn to exploring and expanding your understanding of value and security. So this now is me putting it all together. How would the moon, Sagittarius, and the second house interact with each other? This isn't just about financial value, though that's certainly a part of it, but also about personal worth and what you inherently give value in yourself and in the world around you. With Sagittarius's influence, there's a likely increase in optimism about financial matters. You might feel more adventurous in financial decisions, possibly investing in something that aligns with your broader philosophies, or taking a risk that you've been considering. The pursuit of knowledge Sagittarius is known for might lead you to educate yourself more about financial matters or seek broader understanding of your material world. You may be drawn to philosophies that relate to abundance, material possessions, and personal worth. So you may be learning more now about how to materialize possessions or money. Very simply money. A little bit more during this time. And all of that then ties into your emotional state. Sagittarius also brings a sense of freedom and independence, which could manifest as a desire for financial independence or aligning your spending with the causes and philosophies that you feel passionately about. However, it's important to keep in mind that the Sagittarian propensity for over-optimism and risk-taking needs to be balanced. While exploring and expanding is encouraged, be wary of making impulsive decisions based purely on optimistic views. In terms of personal worth, this transit could encourage a more expansive view of yourself and your capabilities. You may feel a boost of confidence and begin to see the bigger picture of your own potential. Overall, a moon transit through Sagittarius and in the second house brings a focus on exploring and expanding your understanding of your material world and personal worth with an optimistic and adventurous spirit. So next, we have Mercury. Mercury in astrology symbolizes the way that we think, process information, and communicate. It represents logic, reasoning, and our cognitive style, and how we articulate and exchange ideas. Basically, for me, Mercury would also be a great signifier for mental health. Same as the moon, but I think they both work together and represent one's mental health, or mental well-being, or mental illness, or anything to do with the mind. In essence, it's all about mental energy and what we do with it. When Mercury transits into Cancer, it moves into a water sign known for its emotional depth, intuitive nature, and nurturing tendencies. Cancer is also associated with the idea of home roots, whether that's your literal home, home and roots, whether that's your literal home, your ancestors, or the metaphorical home within yourself. This transit invites us to navigate our world not only with our minds, but also with our feelings. It's about combining the intellectual with the emotional, the thoughts with the feelings, the head with the heart. Communication then takes a soft turn, becoming more empathetic and passionate. Words are not merely vehicles for information, but become vessels of emotional connection. We begin to speak from the heart, expressing our feelings with an unusual openness and vulnerability. Memory, often a Mercury domain, becomes colored with emotion. Past experiences, early childhood memories, even conversations from days gone by can resurface with a renewed emotional significance, if that makes sense. It's as if Mercury and Cancer rewinds the mental tape, allowing us to revisit, rethink, and perhaps heal old wounds. But remember, this transit is not just about looking back, it's about using our past to nurture our present and foster our future. Our thoughts, our words, our communication become our home, offering comfort and solace. So during this transit, let your heart guide your words. Listen empathetically, speak compassionately, and remember that in the realm of emotions, every thought, every word can be a comforting hug or a soothing whisper that heals. As Mercury glides through Cancer's waters, let's use this time to transform our communication into a tool for emotional connection and healing for ourselves and for those around us. Now, Mercury in the 10th house, on the other hand, is often, the 10th house first, on the other hand, is often referred to as the house of social status. It's associated with career, reputation, and our public persona. Essentially, it represents our highest aspirations in life. So, when Mercury transits through the 10th house, it's a very powerful time for communication and intellectual matters related to career, public image, and our goals. As Mercury, the winged messenger, journeys through the ambitious terrain of your 10th house, it feels like a breath of fresh air has stirred and stillness in the hallowed halls of your aspirations and goals. During this transit, your mind is especially sharp and attuned to your career and long-term goals. Ideas flow with an ease and clarity that seem almost effortless. This is a time to strategize, to plan, and to put your intellectual prowess into shaping your path to success. Communication in your professional realm becomes very essential. You may find yourself delivering a lot of presentations, networking, or articulating your ideas more than usual. And don't shy away from these opportunities. Your words carry a lot of weight, and others are more receptive to your ideas right now. Mercury's influence also means a heightened perception of your public image. How do you want to be seen by the world? What do you want your professional legacy to be? The answers to these questions could steer your conversations and guide your actions. Yet it's not all about output. Mercury's transit is also about input. So learning, inquisitiveness, and your curiosity. Use this period to acquire knowledge as well that can aid your career growth. Attend seminars, read up on industry trends, engage in discussions with like-minded individuals. Let your curiosity lead the way. As Mercury dances through your 10th house, your intellectual vigor and your voice take center stage in the grand theater of your career and public life. Embrace it, for this is a time when your ideas, your communication, your intellectual contributions can truly make a difference, guiding you closer to your highest aspirations. When Mercury now transits the 10th house in Cancer, so now we're putting it all together again, this combination may reflect a focus on communication and thinking centered around your career, but with a more empathetic, intuitive, and emotionally driven approach. As Mercury sails into the 10th house under the sign of Cancer, we are beckoned to navigate the waters of our career and public persona with a compass that points towards empathy, intuition, and emotional connection. During this transit, your professional communication might become imbued with the nurturing and emotionally expressive qualities of Cancer. I'm so sorry about the noise. There is someone outside in the distance with a bike, so I apologize. The boardroom becomes a place of connection, and discussions aren't just about business strategies, but also about supporting one another. You may find yourself using your words to build, to nurture, or to connect. The way you articulate your professional vision might take on a deeply personal, almost familial tone, as if your team or colleagues were an extension of your family. And it's not just about the words that you speak. In the quiet corners of your mind, where thoughts weave themselves into ideas and strategies, the Cancer influence stirs a deep intuition. It prompts you to rely on your gut feelings in making career decisions or planning your professional path. Don't shy away from this emotional and intuitive approach. Embrace it fully. Empathy can break barriers, and intuition can lead to innovative ideas. Let your professional communications become a safe harbor for others, embodying the Cancerian themes of nurture and support. But remember that this transit is also calling you to safeguard your own emotional well-being. Amid the hustle and bustle of professional life, ensure your work environment feels like a safe and supportive place to you. As Mercury traverses this 10th house in Cancer, it's inviting you to rewrite the narrative of your professional life. It's a narrative where success doesn't just stem from cold, hard strategy, but from a deep sense of emotional intelligence. Now we are moving on to Venus. Venus, if you do not know, represents love, beauty, harmony, and our personal style of relating to others. It shows what we enjoy, what attracts us, and how we express affection and derive pleasure from our relationships, from our material possessions and the arts as well. And then Leo, which is ruled by the sun, is a fire sign, known for its warmth, creativity, charisma, and a somewhat theatrical flair. Leos love to shine, express their individuality, and are often quite generous. So, what happens when Venus transits through Leo? There is a shift in how we express love and relate to others, as well as what brings us pleasure, but also our creativity. With Venus in Leo, expressions of love and affection can become more flamboyant and grand. You may feel the need to express your feelings in a bold and dramatic way. This is a time to let those you love know about your feelings in no uncertain terms. This transit might bring a desire to be appreciated and admired in relationships. You might want your efforts and gestures of love to be recognized and appreciated. And similarly, you could be more generous in praising and admiring others. Leo is a sign associated with creativity as well. So Venus moving through Leo can stimulate artistic expression. You might find joy in creative endeavors, whether it's painting, performing, decorating, or any form of artistic expression. Venus in Leo encourages us to find joy in life, to celebrate, and to have fun. This could be a period when you're more drawn to entertainment, parties, or simply enjoying the pleasures of life. This transit can heat up the romantic atmosphere. It could bring about passionate encounters and a penchant for romantic gestures, more love, more depth, and more childlike behavior in your loving relationships. Maybe children could be here in this sphere as well. And Leo likes to be seen and appreciated. So you might find yourself more focused on your personal style and appearance. This is a great time to embrace your individuality and express it through your fashion and style. And also because of this interaction of energies, your style is much better now. Fashion is at the forefront. You look good. Regardless of what you pick intuitively, you'll intuitively know what to choose to wear, or what makeup to put on your face, or how to style your hair. When you do so, you will by default look very, very good. When Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and harmony, transits the 11th house now, it brings its gentle and harmonious energy to the areas of friendships, groups, and long-term goals, which are the typical domains of the 11th house. And the 11th house has to do with dreams and hopes and community, or the collective. With Venus in the 11th house, your social life might get a little bit of a boost. It's a great time for socializing, making new friends, and enjoying the company of existing ones. Your interactions with others can be more pleasant and harmonious during this transit. The 11th house is also associated with groups and organizations, as I said. Venus here can help create a more cooperative and harmonious environment in these settings. You may be able to work better with others towards a common goal, or you might play the role of a peacemaker in group settings. Venus is also the planet of attraction. So when it transits the 11th house, you might attract new friendships or social contacts. So be very aware or vigilant of what's going on around you right now. These new connections can be people who share your ideals or with whom you have common long-term goals. Venus is also the ruler of values, and in the 11th house, it could lead to a reevaluation of the role and value of friendships in your life. You might get a clearer sense of who your true friends are and which relationships bring value to your life. The 11th house is also associated with our long-term goals and aspirations. So Venus here can help smooth the path towards these goals. You might find that you're able to attract the resources and support necessary you need to make progress. With Venus in the 11th house, networking can become a more enjoyable activity. You may derive more pleasure from social interactions, even when they're oriented towards professional or goal-driven contexts. So, when Venus transits through Leo in the 11th house, it creates a very unique blend of energies. Sorry. Your interactions with friends could become more lively, expressive, and passionate. You may find that your friendships during this time are full of laughter, drama, and shared creative interest. The theatrical energy of Leo combined with the social focus of the 11th house could lead to an increase in flamboyant and grand social engagements. You might enjoy hosting or attending events that allow you to maybe express yourself freely and enjoy the company of diverse people. This is a great time for collaborative, creative projects. You might find that working in a group brings out your best ideas and that the process is harmonious and way more enjoyable. With Venus, the planet of love in Leo, the sign of romance, transiting the house of friendships, there could be a blur between platonic and romantic relationships. A friend could become a lover, or you might experience a deepening of affection in your friendships. The combination of Leo's passion with the 11th house's focus on aspirations. I am so sorry about the dog outside. The combination of Leo's passion with the 11th house's focus on aspirations could lead to a time where you're enthusiastically working towards your goals, particularly those that involve your creative passions or allow you to express your individuality. Leo's love for the spotlight, coupled with Venus's charm, could attract attention in group settings. You may find yourself taking the lead more often or being recognized for your unique contributions. I hope all of this makes sense thus far. I am so sorry about the 10 million noises around me. I apologize. I usually don't record during the day because during the day it's just so busy around the house. The animals are noisy, the neighbors are noisy, and also I'm in the city, so there's a lot of noises around me. There's a lot of energy moving. So ideally at night when it's a very restful period to record, there's not much going on in the environment. So hopefully it's okay and you understood everything so far. So next in our analysis is Mars. Mars, the planet of action, drive, and desire, brings an assertive and energetic quality to whichever sign and house it transits. When Mars transits Leo, the energies of assertiveness and drive meet Leo's love for creativity, recognition, and self-expression. This transit encourages a lot of boldness, assertiveness, and a desire to be in the spotlight. You may feel a lot more motivated to pursue your passions, express yourself freely, and take the lead in various situations. This is a time when you might want to follow your heart and assert your individuality. The 11th house, as I've said, rules friendships, social networks, and long-term goals. So when Venus transits the 11th house, there can be an increased energy and assertiveness in these areas specifically. You might take initiative in social situations, or you might be more driven to pursue your long-term goals. You could feel motivated to work within the team or take the lead in group projects. However, with Mars's fiery energy, there could also be potential for conflicts within these social situations, so it's important to temper assertiveness with cooperation. When Mars transits Leo in the 7th house, the energetic drive of Mars combines with Leo's creativity and self-expression in the domain of friendships, social networks, and long-term goals. This could result in a strong desire to take the lead in group situations, express your ideas boldly within a social context, and passionately pursue your long-term goals. You might enjoy being the center of attention in your social circle or being the driving force behind collective projects. On the other hand, the potential for conflicts could be heightened. You might find yourself butting heads with others if you're too dominating or domineering, or if you disregard others' ideas in favor of your own. The key during this transit is finding a nice balance, allowing yourself to shine and take initiative, but also considering the input and feelings of others. It's a great time to assert your individuality, but always remember that the 11th house is all about the collective and collaboration. Be very aware that your actions can have a significant impact on the group dynamics. Moving on to Jupiter. This is the planet of expansion, luck, learning, wisdom. It affects our optimism, growth, and abundance. So when Jupiter transits Taurus, it brings a period of growth and expansion in the realm of material security, comfort, and sensual pleasures. Taurus, an earth sign, is concerned with stability, resources, and the physical senses. This transit can bring good fortune in the areas of personal finances and possessions. It may also inspire a deeper appreciation for beauty, the arts, and the simple pleasures of life. The key here is to balance the desire for material growth with a sense of gratitude and contentment. The 7th house rules partnerships and relationships, including business partnerships and marriages. So when Jupiter is transiting the 7th house, it can bring about blessings and opportunities for growth within these specific areas. It's a good time for establishing new partnerships, improving existing relationships, or receiving benefits through a partner. Your relationships might inspire you, provide learning opportunities, or somehow expand your horizons. When Jupiter now transits Taurus in the 7th house, the themes of growth and expansion are brought into the realm of partnership, with the Taurus modality of stability, comfort, and material security. This could mean a variety of things. You may experience material or financial gain through your partnerships, whether it's a business partnership becoming more profitable or a personal partner experiencing good fortune, that then also benefits you as well. This transit could bring a sense of stability and security in your relationships. You may find your relationships becoming more reliable and solid, providing you with a sense of comfort, giving you a sense of security. The Taurus influence could inspire a deeper appreciation for the simple sensual pleasures of companionship. You might find a lot of joy in just being together, enjoying each other's company, for instance. Your relationships might cause you to reevaluate what you value most in life, helping you grow and expand your understanding of yourself and what you want in a partner. By the way, these next sections have been a little shorter than the beginning, just because I'm trying to get through this a lot quicker. But yes, let's move on. The next planet on our roster is, Saturn. So Saturn is the planet of discipline, responsibility, and very big life lessons, bringing structure and tests to the areas of life it touches. What does it mean when Saturn transits Pisces in the 5th house? Particularly when Saturn is in retrograde. Do you remember? Saturn is in retrograde now. So, when Saturn transits Pisces, a period of hard work and discipline is applied to areas related to intuition, spirituality, and creativity. This can be a time when you're asked to structure or define your dreams, spiritual practices, or creative pursuits. There can be challenges as Saturn's concrete, reality-focused energy is somewhat at odds with Pisces' fluid, imaginative, and ethereal nature. You may need to find practical ways to express your spirituality or creativity. Since Saturn also rules time, this transit might involve long-term projects related to these areas as well. The 5th house rules over areas like personal creativity, romantic relationships, children, hobbies, and the like. When Saturn now makes a transit to this house, you may experience challenges or responsibilities in those areas. You might need to put in more work into your creative projects, or you might face some tests in your romantic life. The goal here is not to limit you, but it's here to help you build a stronger, more durable foundation in these parts of your life. When Saturn transits Pisces in the 5th house, the lessons and challenges of Saturn will be applied to your creative self-expression, romance, and personal hobbies with a very Piscean aura. You might be asked to find practical, structured ways to express your creativity or to navigate your romantic life. This could involve learning how to set healthy boundaries, finding realistic ways to pursue your creative interests, or putting in hard work when it comes to your hobbies or romantic relationships. You might also have to bring more discipline to your relationships with children, whether they're your own or others. Retrogrades tend to spin a planet's energy more inwards, and the planet being affected is somewhat facing a blockage, which makes the external expressions somewhat unclear. As a planet enters its retrograde phase, its influence weakens, prompting us to take a step back, contemplate our journey, and reassess our future direction. So Saturn retrograde periods are sometimes there for reassessing the structures in our lives. During this time, you might be asked to reevaluate the work you've been doing in the realm of creativity, romance, and personal hobbies? Have you been too disciplined or not disciplined enough? Are there practical adjustments you need to make? Are you expressing your creativity or navigating your romantic life in a way that is true to who you are? These are some of the questions that might come up during this time. Moving on to Uranus. Uranus, the planet of innovation, rebellion, and sudden change, brings disruption and enlightenment to the areas of life that it touches. When Uranus transits Taurus, expect a shakeup in the realms of material possessions, personal finances, and values. Taurus is usually associated with stability, practicality, and sensuality, while Uranus is about change, innovation, and even unpredictability. This combination might then mean that you experience sudden changes or shifts in your financial situation or your values. This could be a time of innovation in the way that you earn money, or even in the way you relate to physical possessions or sensory experiences. The 7th house rules partnerships and relationships, as I've mentioned earlier, including business partnerships, marriages. It represents other people. When Uranus transits the 7th house, it can bring unexpected changes, sudden insights, or even disruptions in those areas specifically. Relationships might end abruptly or begin just as suddenly. Existing relationships might go through unexpected changes. It could also be a period of freedom and individuality within your partnerships. When Uranus transits Taurus in the 7th house now, we're putting it all together again, the disruptive and innovative energy of Uranus is brought into your realm of partnerships, but with a Taurus flavor of material stability, possessions, and sensuality. This could mean various things. Sudden changes might occur in your relationships. A partner might suddenly gain or lose money, or there might be a sudden change in the financial dynamic within your relationship. You might seek new unconventional types of relationships or explore innovative ways of relating to others. So, I don't know, think swinging or think polyamorous, intermingling, experimentation with BDSM and stuff like that. You might experience a shift in your values concerning relationships. What you want or expect from a partner might then just change suddenly. There might be a tension between the desire for freedom and the need for stability within your partnerships. You might seek ways to balance these needs. And also, please remember that Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, by the way, are outer planets, and their energies take much longer to come to fruition. So these things that I'm telling you now may not happen immediately. They could, but they may take their time to come into your physical reality. Or it may evolve, or the story might just open up over time. So it may not happen now, immediately. It's going to take time. But also this could probably not happen to you. Because remember, as I said at the beginning, all of this is dependent on how your personal natal chart is and its relation to these current general collective energies right now. Neptune, the planet of dreams, spirituality, and illusion, brings a dissolving, imaginative influence to areas of life that it touches. This is also the planet of drugs, addictions, hallucinations, dreams, escapism, etc. In this transit, it will have even more of a profound impact, considering it is also in retrograde. Neptune is very, very at home in Pisces, the sign it rules. This transit enhances these themes that I mentioned, of like spirituality, compassion, creativity, intuition, addiction, illusion, escapism, but also it enhances the energy or themes of confusion and these escapism, illusion, addiction things that I just mentioned. So you have to be very, very careful. You may feel a stronger connection to the spiritual realm. Your dreams may become more vivid, and you may find yourself more empathetic and understanding. However, it's also essential to stay grounded as you possibly can, as Neptune and Pisces can really blur the line between reality and fantasy. Just an example from, like a small, simple little example from like my own experience right now. I don't know, I just felt called to maybe make the time to do a reading, because I actually haven't done this in so long. I haven't done this since 2020 or 2021, and I don't know, I just felt compelled to come and engage with spirituality a little bit more, mental health wise, creatively. Just my soul just needs that connection now, and maybe through this then I connect with other beings on this earth through these messages in some way, and I make a few new friends, establish new relationships through engaging in this way. The 6th house rules daily routines, work, health, pets, and service to others. And also mental analysis and mental work. When Neptune transits this house, it can add a layer of confusion or fluidity to these 6th house areas. For example, your daily routine may become less structured, or you may feel a pull towards work that serves a higher purpose. You may become more sensitive to your body and health matters, though there's a risk of misdiagnosis or confusion about health issues. So just be very wary of that. When Neptune now transits Pisces in the 6th house, the spiritual, imaginative energy of Neptune merges with your daily routines, your work, and health. You may feel a strong urge to incorporate spirituality into your daily life, or find work that allows you to help others on a profound level. Your approach to health might become more holistic, perhaps. However, given the elusive energy of Neptune and Pisces, you might struggle with setting boundaries or maintaining a structured routine. You might also experience a lot of confusion or uncertainty regarding your job or your health. Remember, Neptune is in retrograde, by the way. So during Neptune in retrograde, you are very much encouraged to revisit the areas of life influenced by Neptune's transit. This is a time to reevaluate how you've been integrating spirituality into your daily life, your work, and health routines. Are you losing yourself in service to others? Is your work fulfilling your spiritual needs? Are you paying attention to your body's signals? The Neptune retrograde period urges you to introspect and refine these areas. It's a time to discern illusion from reality and sort of spiritualize your everyday experiences. Keep in mind that Neptune's effects are also quite subtle and very long-lasting. Pluto is known as the planet of transformation, power, and rebirth. It tends to deeply transform the areas of life that it touches, often through challenging and very intense experiences that lead to growth and empowerment. Pluto is in retrograde, and it's transiting through Capricorn in the 4th house. And Pluto can either destroy you completely, or it can help you if you recognize where it's impacting you in your life. I'm not heavily Pluto, Scorpio, 8th house. I guess triggered, involved. I don't know. Like I don't have too many of those energies, but they do impact my life because I have a moon in Scorpio. And then my Pluto is in the 7th house. I have moon in Scorpio in the 7th house. And then I think I have... I would like to think that I am a Scorpio person because my nakshatra is also Anuradha, which is a Scorpio nakshatra as well. But I've seen the Pluto influence for sure. I am influenced by this energy, but not as much as other people have. But it still impacts my life. It has impacted my life so much, but until I learned about it, I didn't know a way forward. I felt absolutely terrible. I don't want to dive into that stuff right now because it's not relevant, because I'm giving you guys a reading or just a forecast and I'm just giving you what's up. I'm giving you the news and that's it. But yeah, it almost destroyed me. It can be very destructive and very dangerous and very intense and painful and grueling and tiring and just painful. But once you know how to work with it, once you know what it is, and once you learn how to handle it, it's kind of like doing shadow work, but the deepest kind of shadow work. And I also offer those readings, Pluto readings, which double up as like a shadow work reading. I don't know if I should separate those or if they can just all go together into one big bundle. Just because I know how much it's helped me understand what's going on within my own system. But yeah, it does really help to know what Pluto, Scorpio, and the 8th house are doing in your chart. Especially if you have stelliums, for instance. So when Pluto transits Capricorn, now this is the slowest moving planet, by the way. So this energy is going to last for a while. It's not quick at all. It's very subtle and slow, and it penetrates, if that makes sense. Societal structures and institutions, things that Capricorn rule, undergo profound transformations. On a personal level, this transit might bring significant changes related to your career, your public image, or your approach to responsibility and ambition. You may feel a powerful urge to change your life direction, to gain more control over your career, or to transform the structures and rules by which you live. This is a time of releasing old patterns related to authority and control and learning to wield power with a lot of integrity and responsibility. The 4th house in astrology represents home, family, roots and our emotional foundation. So the 4th house links with Cancer and the moon. So it's basically the same thing. When Pluto transits this house, it often brings a lot of profound transformations in these areas. This could be a time when issues from your past or your family history come up for healing and resolution. Relationships with family members may undergo significant changes, and your home life may go through a period of upheaval and eventual renewal. The purpose of these challenges is to help you build a more authentic emotional foundation and a stronger sense of home and family. When Pluto transits Capricorn in the 4th house, the transformative power of Pluto is brought to your home and family life with a Capricornian energy. Here are some of the possible manifestations. You may go through a complete transformation in your home life, perhaps through a move, a change in family structure, or a shift in how you relate to your home. This transit can bring up old family patterns, perhaps related to authority, responsibility, or control, that need to be healed and transformed. You may need to confront and release any patterns of control or dominance in your family history. You see, for me, I relate to this because in my natal chart, I have Moon in Scorpio, but then I also have Mars in the 4th house. So, same energy. My home life is not the prettiest, it's not the lightest, it's not the most comforting. It's basically, Mars in the 4th house. It's a war zone, essentially. It's not very nice. It's not soft, it's not smooth, it's not calm, it's not nurturing. It's always been a battle. I have a very warlike, fiery relationship with my family, which can either play out for the better, it can play out well, and it could just signify maybe a really passionate family life and family situation where we fight for each other. But for me, it played out in a very toxic, abusive way. Not physically violent, but more so emotionally and psychologically violent. It was very exhausting. And now I don't live with them. I don't live with my family anymore right now because I had to leave. Otherwise, I wouldn't have survived. So that's essentially what that kind of energy is. You may be challenged to redefine your emotional foundations in a way that is more aligned with your true self. This might mean letting go of old rules or structures that no longer serve you and building a new emotional foundation based on your authentic values and needs. Essentially what I just explained to you. I had to walk away. I had to do something in my own power, recognize my own personal power, and understand if my authentic values and needs are aligning with the familial space, the home space, the roots I was given. Does it align? And it doesn't. It's just butting heads. So if I didn't want emotional destruction or mental destruction, if I did not want my personal power to be taken away, if I didn't want to be destroyed and burnt, right, by Pluto, by Mars, by Scorpio, if I didn't want my home to burn me completely and destroy me until there's nothing left, I had to go where I could reestablish that peace again. And it's going to take a long time, and it's been taking a long time. Issues related to power and control might surface within your family, which may need to be addressed and transformed. This could mean learning to assert your power in a healthy way or navigating power dynamics with family members. During a Pluto retrograde, remember, Pluto is also in retrograde, by the way, as Neptune and Saturn are. You're encouraged to reflect on how you've been handling the power and transformation associated with Pluto's transit. In this case, it's a time to reconsider your approach to home, family, roots, and emotional foundations. You may need to reassess the changes you've been making in these areas and delve deeper into the transformation process. The retrograde period may bring up unresolved issues from the past or hidden aspects of yourself that need to be confronted and healed. Pluto's transformation often involve a lot of intense experiences and deep psychological processes. So it is very crucial to have a lot of patience and compassion with yourself during this very, very difficult time. And this might apply to everybody or to some of you. Not everyone will experience this. Let me be clear. Lastly, now we are going to be looking at the aspects of consideration. I would look at all of the astrological aspects, but that would be too long. But the one that I felt drawn to the most was Jupiter and Saturn. So perhaps an important aspect to keep in mind is that Jupiter makes a sextile to Saturn during this current transit. The sextile aspect between transiting Jupiter and transiting Saturn brings together Jupiter's symbolism of expansion, wisdom, optimism, luck, and growth with Saturn's energies of discipline, structure, career, and long-term planning. This is generally seen as a favorable aspect, along with the trine, but right now it's the sextile. Jupiter sextile Saturn indicates a time when opportunities for growth and expansion, Jupiter, align harmoniously with your ability to structure and be disciplined, Saturn. This aspect can provide you with the ability to take the big dreams and optimistic visions of Jupiter and give them form, structure, and function through Saturn's practical application. In other words, this is a period when you can effectively balance ideals with realistic outlooks. You might find that you're able to expand your horizons, whether that's in business, personal development, or other areas, while also keeping your feet firmly planted on the ground. This could manifest as new opportunities coming your way that fit perfectly within your long-term goals. This aspect encourages patience, hard work, and a positive outlook, and it's an excellent time to take on tasks that require long-term commitment and effort. You'll likely find that you have the optimism to start projects and the discipline to see them through to completion. Financial stability may come through investments or business deals. This essentially is an excellent time for personal wealth creation. There's an opportunity for a level-headedness in your professional, knowledge-based, and creative pursuits. In this dance of the stars, remember that you are not just an observer, but an active participant in the cosmic ballet. As you navigate these celestial currents, be mindful of the powerful energies at play, yet also of your inner power to channel them towards personal growth and transformation. This planetary forecast invites you on a journey of introspection, evolution, and potential rebirth. In closing, I encourage you to take these planetary energies and weave them deep into your own personal tapestry of growth and self-discovery. Use the celestial guidance to illuminate your path, expand your horizons, and realize your highest potential. The universe sings a song of change and transformation, and you are an essential part of its chorus. May your journey be filled with joy, love, and infinite abundance. Namaste, beautiful souls, and thank you.
The art of living is neither careless drifting on the one hand, nor fearful clinging to the past on the other. It consists in being sensitive to each moment, in regarding it as utterly new and unique, in having the mind open and wholly receptive.